Slay the Princess is a visual novel game within the psychological horror genre. The beginning of the game states no matter the choices you make, there are no wrong answers, no early endings. This game is a love story. That sounds nice, but does this really look like love to you?
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
I first heard of this game when it came out in 2023 and saw some screenshots of it as Reddit memes or thumbnails on YouTube, and always thought to myself, interesting. That princess probably has some super deep and dark secret that makes the name of the game, Slay the Princess, make sense, and I don't think I want to find that out. Q 2025, we watch a Daryl Talks Games video about finding romantic love in video games and other mediums, and Slay the Princess pops up. The brief description and showings of the game intrigued me enough to want to learn more, and so I found a Markiplier playthrough to watch.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Slay the Princess.
I watched the first few videos with hands covering my face, but then found myself uncovering my eyes as I couldn't afford to miss any ounce of beauty this game offers. Slay the Princess is captivating, which has put me down the rabbit hole of watching even therapists play this game, to now me making this video. This is both an exploration of why this game is so enthralling, and a synopsis of my playthrough. When Slay the Princess begins, you open to this shot.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You receive some choices to question your narrator or to express your enthusiasm about killing a monarch, but no matter what options you explore, ultimately you find yourself going to the cabin as told. You make it to the cabin and your narrator continues.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
You do have this voice of the hero, which does question if we really should be killing a princess, and that it does seem wrong. But the narrator always tends to push off anything the hero says. You enter the cabin, and your first actual choice comes.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Do you take the blade or enter the basement on your own? You recollect everything you know. The narrator is informing you the princess equals bad. The game title is Slay the Princess. The game beginning credits tell you there are no wrong choices. Throughout the first chapter of the game, the hero and the princess, these thoughts sit in your head the entire time. Why shouldn't I grab the blade? It's for my safety, right? The princess will most likely try something, right? What else would be the point of this game? It's called psychological horror. It's a scary, spoopy game.
Snap out of it, Sarah! Oh, move!
With these thoughts, we grab the blade and enter the basement. The music changes, and now invokes a sense of dread and mystery. Before we can go down the stairs, the narrator continues to try and inform us of why slaying the princess is a good idea, and then you hear her.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Now even the voice of the hero notes how dangerous she sounds. The music, continuing its eerie, unsettling vibes, you descend the staircase. You've done it. You've encountered the main objective of the game. Now it's time for you to decide what to do. The problem here is it's literally the first 5 minutes of the game, and you still know nothing. I only have the narrator's information, the name of the game, knowing it's a spoopy game, and the thought that there are no wrong choices. The tension at this moment of the game is unreal. What game have you played the first 5 minutes of and already felt like you were shitting yourself? It's a wonderful take on psychological horror, as I would be spending an unhealthy amount of time at this screen to try and figure out any hidden things to help me understand what the princess is or what she is capable of had I not watched any videos beforehand. What if you try to talk to the princess and then a jump scare comes out? What if you missed something upstairs in the cabin? There are no other options, right? Did I really already have to come to the point of slaying her already? What if she's actually super nice, although it doesn't look it or sound it because she's kind of being really aggressive right now? What if you make the wrong choice and she corrupts your game to where it's her and only her? No, sorry. That's just Monica. Like any good psychological horror game, the idea of horror is what is held in your mind. Everything is possible and all possibilities are endless. This game will continue this theme through its final arc, which I believe is a truly phenomenal feat. If you succumb to these thoughts, which so many probably do, you may decide enough is enough and you slay her. But I tried playing this blindly as I believe I would have the first time, and instead, I decided to talk to the princess. The princess gives hostile answers to our questions, us asking about her potentially ending the world and trying to learn her name. She does seem aggressive and a bit scary.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
But I'd still like to think there is something I'm missing and thus an amazing option. I found the option to leave her in the basement. An act of non-choosing. This is great for me. We're just gonna let it be. Bobbity-bee, bobbity-boo.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Or was it not a great choice? Once you inform the princess you plan to leave her, the princess starts to act more aggressive, saying she will get out.
Well, shit.
The voice of the hero does start to worry, but you continue on your way upstairs, closing and barricading the basement door. As you are safe and sheltered, you hear knocking on the basement door. She got out. What was this for?
It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
At least part of you may now feel a sense of relief and clarity that, okay, maybe I should have just killed the princess, but what do we do now? She can't just get in, right? The game continues. Our character dozes off, and the door is open.
Morning. It's morning, everyone! Today's the day! The sun is shining, the tank is clean, and we are getting out of... The tank is clean.
My mouse, now covered in sweat from my palms, I think to myself, I should have just killed her like we were told. Out comes the princess, and she is now floating. Terrifying both the character and me, the player, you await your fate.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Like what? Haunt Zach Bagans as ghosts?
Stop it! Stop!
From sheer panic and horror, our character freezes up and dies.
But we both know this is the end, don't we?
Everything goes dark, and you die.
The game turns to black. Well, that was fast. The game did say there were no wrong choices, so I guess it's fine. Okay, what is this? The nightmare?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
After just being murdered, maybe not murdered by your own nerves, you awaken back at the start of the game, and your character remembers it.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
You talk to the narrator about what happened, And you also have a new voice, the voice of the paranoid, with you, alongside the hero and the narrator. All the voices start fighting over what happened, the narrator telling us this is the first time we are here, the hero and paranoid recollecting the horrors we felt when we were killed. Ultimately, the choice is ours. Knowing me, we try to avoid the cabin, but still end up back there.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
I say screw it one more time and leave again.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
And this time we don't find the cabin.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
Everything starts to turn dark. Words come across the screen. Then something rumbles up, and we see hands. Frustration. They want something. But what do they want? They don't appear to want us. Is this who put us here? They want something shaped like them? What can this mean? We have two choices. Is this a nightmare, or do we embrace? Does it matter? This is a horror game, so we believe it's a nightmare.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
We start at Chapter 1, the hero and the princess again. The game repeats the same as it did the first time, but now allows us to skip dialogue we've previously seen. Knowing what we know now, that the princess turned into some floaty, scary nightmare, I am completely okay with killing her.
It's the only way to be sure.
We get to the cabin, we take the blade, we go downstairs. The same dialogue options, the same change in music. I know I'm going to choose to slay her, but there are still some fun options here, like being able to squint at her.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
I think it's just fun. I think it's just fun.
You squint even harder. So does she.
We decide to listen to the narrator and slay the princess.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle. She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
Okay, I guess we messed up, but also, why am I attracted to her now as she towers over us?
Everything goes dark, and you die.
I expect to reach the nightmare again, but now our chapter 2 is the tower. Now that's interesting. Even though it has a different title, this chapter 2 starts out just like the prior chapter 2. The first difference you notice is you have the voice of the broken instead of the paranoid. What can be going on here?
Huh?
Whatever the reason, whatever the broken's depressed ramblings, we decide to go back to the cabin. Now, the cabin is different, and
It's bigger on the inside.
Is it? I noticed.
a huge door, a mirror, but the blade remains, just in a harder to reach area. We feel small. Our voices talk about the mirror, but the narrator says there isn't one. We go up to it anyway, only to find it disappears. Odd. We grab the blade and go down the stairs.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase, its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Okay, well, now I'm even more attracted to her. You, the player, know not only does the princess appear different, but the music is different. No longer eerie and mysterious, but it sounds more final, foreboding, like we are on the path to our own doom. We go down the stairs and find her.
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window.
She is different, but she remembers us. She's also hot, goddammit.
You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Yes, ma'am.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor.
Kneel.
Why does this game know what I want? What simp made this game?
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Oishi?
We converse with the princess, telling her everything she wants to hear. I mean, she's killed me twice, and look at her now. I'll gladly accept my fate. We commend ourselves to her, and she accepts us at her side.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
This is great. She states we have to break her chains, but how? She also appears to observe the narrator. She calls it an echo. The narrator states this shouldn't be possible, but she makes the narrator her own.
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
We listen to her every whim. She takes control of the narrator, and we are fully hers. She tells us that to break her chains, all we have to do is believe. The hero, still trying to get through to us, fails. We believe her chains can break, so they break.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
The hands from before come back, and this time, take her away. The mirror from before appears. Our voices, nervous about it, yet we choose to approach. We see ourselves. It's us. We're alone, and we have one option. Proceed to the cabin. As we do, we see a figure in the distance and approach.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Our character remembers this entity as the entity from our first Chapter 2, The Nightmare. It apologizes for frightening us. I find it more intriguing that our character remembered that. Assumedly, I thought our game ended and restarted, but no, I guess there truly are no wrong choices. We speak to the entity to learn more, and it appears she is just starting to gain consciousness. We can ask about this vessel, the princess she took.
Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for an overwhelming heart.
She doesn't appear to know anything but us. Who or what can she be? As the only other creature that we've talked to other than the narrator, she at least gives us answers. The music surrounding her is soft and gentle. For the first time in this horror game, I feel at ease. I like this entity much more than the narrator. We ask what happens now.
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
She tells us to bring her more perspective so we may know our freedom. We ask, what will we forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
Finally, we decide it's time to forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
After the handsy boy erases our memory, again, the game starts the same, just like it did the other 2 times. There are no wrong choices plays through my mind alongside, to break my chains, you just have to believe. Okay, so what if this playthrough we don't let any doubt slip our character's mind? What if this playthrough we simply just slay the princess?
It's the only way to be sure.
We enter the cabin, grab the blade, go down the stairs. The music changes to the eerie tone we have come to expect. We find the princess, we steal our nerves, we don't listen to anything the princess says, and we choose to slay her.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
The princess left us with some foreboding words, but I'm not falling for it. I'm going to believe we killed her and ensure no doubt comes into our character's mind.
Yes, exactly. It's over.
We find ourselves back upstairs, the voice of the hero just wanting to leave this place after feeling bad for what we did. Yet, we find there is absolutely nothing outside. The narrator informs us this is fine, and we'll be happy knowing that we saved the world. This is our reward, an eternity of nothingness. The narrator continues talking about how time passes, months, years, decades. Who knows how long it's been? We're just happy. There are no wrong choices here, but our voice of the hero doesn't believe we're happy, and after a bit of back and forth, we decide to find a way to leave by going downstairs, picking up the blade, and stabbing ourselves. Yes, our happy ending that the narrator sets up for us leads to us dying anyway. I know there are no wrong choices, but living in the cabin for an eternity of nothingness does not feel right.
Of all the places I could be, why would I want to be here with you?
Our character dies, and we see the title of our chapter is Now. At this point of the game, I think we can start to come to some sound theories. It appears we get a different princess based on how we interacted with them in the prior chapter 1. The first princess we ever encountered supposedly turned into a nightmare because she literally scared us to death. Our second princess, but first one taken by the handsy thing, easily overpowered us and killed us, thus appearing as an unbreakable tower in the next chapter. This time, we killed the princess, and we received the specter. So, is she a ghost? Alongside our new chapter name, we have a new voice joining us, the Cold, most likely because we murdered the princess in cold blood. We let our voices talk to each other, go to the cabin, enter, grab the blade, and go downstairs. The cabin this time, instead of being larger on the inside, appears to be dilapidated and abandoned. We find the princess's skeleton, and then she appears. A ghost, or specter, to give credit to the game. Like the prior Chapter 2 princess, she remembers us, yet the narrator still doesn't. The voice of the cold still reasons we could probably kill her again, but after we saw how killing the princess turned out last time, I don't want to do that.
I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate?
Okay.
So we chat with the specter.
You don't look dead, killer. And you don't feel dead either. I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are. I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here. I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here.
She asks if we would allow her to hitch a ride with us, and honestly, for killing her just one chapter ago, sure, why not? There are no wrong choices. We let the princess join our body, but only after she gives us one more jump scare.
See you soon.
Jesus, why?
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over? I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
We collapse, but the princess wakes us back up. Our voices, alongside the princess inside us, all start arguing over what we are. As the princess notes, it appears they all look like shattered glass. She does also note the narrator doesn't appear to belong. This is the second princess who has interacted with our narrator, and the second time they mentioned they don't seem to fit in. I think more and more as we progress through the game, I'm finding myself less trusting of the narrator. Not that there was really much trust with him to begin with anyway. Also, I just need to know, am I the only one who sees a colossal titan in the wall here? The narrator continues to try and not get us to leave, but we decide to leave. After killing the princess in cold blood and receiving our reward of eternal bliss, we want to make things right. The narrator tries to stop us from exiting, but finally we do it. We leave the cabin with the princess inside us. Once we leave the cabin, the narrator stops talking. He's gone. The princess then leaves our body, and we feel a lightness in our chest as the specter stares at us, thanking us for freeing her. As soon as she exits, the handsy boy comes back and takes her. The mirror reappears. Our voices don't seem to have any recollection of this mirror, but we do. We assure them it will be all right and approach. The voices disappear. We've grown. The same thing after last Chapter 2 happens, but this time instead of our towering princess, we have the handsy boy holding the specter. Handsy boy remembers us again. They welcome us back and we converse over what they are. Are they the same as before?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
This single line, to me, is one of the most profound things I've heard so far in this game, and potentially any game I've ever played before. Sure, the handsy boy may have grown, and although they are different than they were before, did they not grow from the tower to the specter, like how a child grows from an infant to a toddler? What happens to our other perspectives when we gain new ones? Throughout our own daily lives, all decisions we have made have brought us to the moments we are at today. There are no wrong choices. These conversations with Handsy Boy provide not only clarity for the game, but a sense of gratitude from both our playable character and myself. How much throughout our own years of life can we say that we are the same but different as the person we were just yesterday? Fresh perspectives always bring change alongside it, which we hope is for the better. You can continue talking to Handsy Boy about how many more vessels she needs, apologizing for hurting the vessels we bring her.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before.
All in all, I think I'm down with Handsy Boy, and I think no longer down with the narrator. So if it's perspectives our Handsy Boy needs, then it's perspectives they shall receive.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Two princesses and one abandoned nightmare down, what do we do now? There are no wrong choices. We go to the cabin, but wonder, what happens if we decide to go down to the basement without the blade? We forgo the blade and enter the basement, and it's already different. The music never changed to its normal, eerie, mysterious tone when we grab the blade every other first chapter. It remains whimsical and dreamlike. And then we hear her.
Hello? Is someone there?
She sounds soft and innocent, less threatening than she ever was before.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
She even looks different now. Where before she looked cold, she now looks cautious with hope behind her eyes. Hope that she'll be free from her shackles. She's relieved we're here. We finally truly stop listening to the narrator and attempt to find a way to free her, going back upstairs to find a key, but the door shuts. We try to open it, but there's no hope. The narrator reminds us we are here to slay the princess, but I still won't do that. The princess, now realizing there is no other way to get out of her chains, brings the whimsical music to a halt. Something is about to happen.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Something else happens.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
The blade appears in the basement. We take the blade and free her from her shackle, cutting her hand off. The princess staring at us as we do, the eerie music from all other chapters returns. The game is telling us something. It wants us to remember all those other tumultuous encounters we've had with the princess before. Anytime we've heard this music, we've either died or we've killed the princess. The princess smiles at us.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Unfortunately, as the music suggests, the game has set its stage, and the narrator decides to take over.
What are you doing?
Your heart drops, and dread starts to creep over. Is this truly what we are meant to do? We scroll down and find an option to warn her. She dodges, and since our player never treated her as a threat, she still believes in us as well. The options come back, but we resist.
The blade! Move the blade!
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry!
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
For her sake? don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
This princess clumsily kills us, showing a lack of any killer instinct that her prior 3 incarnations had. All the while, the narrator ensures we suffer for not listening to him. She looks sad and cries over us as we slowly die. New death, new chapter 2, the damsel. New voice, the smitten.
But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love.
Gathering all we know now, we, the player, understand how the princess behaves is based on our perspective, our choices. How our character gains new voices is also based on these same choices. Of course, we receive the damsel because we treated and believed the princess as someone who purely needed rescuing, never intending any harm to her. So of course, we also get the voice of the smitten, the same way we received the paranoid, broken, and cold from before. This time, even when she did kill us, part of our player character's psyche was literally awestruck by her and saw her as doing no wrong, even though she literally did this. I guess it could have been worse. We get to the cabin, now more regal in its appearance, fit for a princess who needs rescuing. The music sets the tone for us again, this time being more romantic, as if we are nearing the end of a quest to receive our reward. We don't grab the blade and enter the basement.
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love.
The princess looks more elegant than before, her dress flowing boundlessly, her expression eager and excited to see us. She sounds happy.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
She's stunning. We believed her to be a damsel, and so she is. We believe she can slip her chains, and so she does. As happened with all other princesses, whatever we believe becomes reality. This is why there are no wrong choices. This is the game. We know the game title is Slay the Princess. The narrator tells us the princess is bad and manipulative. The princess appears to act based on how we treat her. Though the narrator always wants us to slay her, the princess doesn't always want to kill us. The princess just appears to want to leave or be with us. And then we have the handsy boy, whom has asked us for more perspectives, more vessels. So our options now become, what vessels do we want to deliver to the handsy boy? How much can we truly change our princess's form? How many vessels are out there to collect? We question this princess on what she wants, and she informs us,
Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before. I think I want to leave. And I don't know. What do you want to do?
We question her more. What does she want?
I just want to make you happy.
Then, the art style changes. Her form, looking a bit more disheveled now. The music, unbecoming amongst itself. Fear of the unknown trickles back into both my mind and our characters. We ask her again.
I just want to make you happy.
Is she broken? What's going on?
The damsel is who she is. Part of our character truly believes she loves us like they, the smitten, love her. There's sadly nothing more to her based on our character's beliefs. She'll continue to try and change herself just for us to be happy. This is not okay. This is toxic. We decide enough is enough and plan to leave. I can't give this vessel over. I want her to be more.
That sounds perfect.
Oh, phew. She's back to normal. Normal? What are you talking about? Our angel has always been like this. Absolutely flawless. The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
As we reach the top of the stairs, we take a bit of a turn, and our hero asks us, what would happen if we just stay here? Unlike us, the player, the hero doesn't recall the other princesses. The hero doesn't know that the handsy boy will take this princess. But I'm now intrigued on what would happen if we did just stay. We suggest staying to the princess. She questions us, but we persist. She finally lays out her own belief, possibly because she's so close to her goal of leaving, something she always seems to yearn for. The damsel doesn't know us. Our hero realizes this won't make her happy, but the smitten thinks he can manipulate her into being happy, into realizing she loves him like he loves her. I immediately regret this decision, but it plays out.
If we just showed her the contents of our heart, she'd be happy here. As the voice thinks its thought, your hands raise, fingers pointing towards your chest, and then... What? No, you absolutely do not do that. Oh, but I do. What? What is he doing? We can't see unless you tell us. Are you sure you want to know? I suppose I can't stall forever. You plunge your nails into your chest, digging deep, grasping for a handhold. And you find it, your fingers curling around your ribs.
Oh no, what are you doing? Are you okay? You can't do that and be okay.
Time out. He should not be allowed to do that. He's not the decider. And yet, it's done, isn't it? It will be soon. You yank violently, your bones cracking with wet pops as you pull yourself apart inch by painful inch. Your exposed heart, framed by jagged ribs, thumps rhythmically in your raw, bloodied chest. The loosened, threads of your body unfurling to cover the surface of the room. Don't mind my sacrifice. It's a fair price to pay to give her everything she doesn't know she wants.
Oh, I see. You're trying to tell me something. It's beautiful.
The princess, mesmerized, reaches towards your beating heart, and then everything goes dark and we die? Yes.
What have I done?
You're on a path in the woods. Mate, we're clearly already in the cabin.
Our first epilogue appears, and boy, it's different. The cabin is now a grand hall. The windows covered by murals of a smiling princess and a heart. We have a new voice, the opportunist, most likely because we try to take control of the situation as we thought best for us, not necessarily what was best for the princess. We note the smitten is gone, but why? The blade is gone as well. We approach the mirror, which changes to a door, and we enter.
It would seem that the stairs to the basement don't lead to a basement at all. Rather, they go up. They're draped in fine carpet too, one that feels pleasantly soft against your feet. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably... no, that doesn't work here at all. This place is nice. It's fancy, even. I have to say, whatever you did in your previous lives, I deeply dislike how much it's thrown me off my rhythm. Don't worry about it, boss. You're doing great.
We hear her voice.
You're home. Dinner's ready.
The narrator notes its gentle and warm tone, but also sounding slightly fatigued. We go upstairs, and we see her. Sitting at the head of a long table, torches lit, she looks happy. But there's a shimmering shadow behind her. The blade now wrapped around her neck.
You're here. Now we can start being happy together. Why don't you sit down? Wouldn't that be nice?
As the words leave her mouth, the torches flare and a chair swings in from behind, knocking your legs out from under you. You're forcibly seated at the head of the table.
Isn't that better? It is better, right? It's our happy ending, just like you asked for. It's everything we're supposed to have ever wanted.
Every time she speaks, she seems a bit unsure, but we're served dinner and we eat. It seems like heaven. We finish our feast and then...
Wasn't that perfect? We should do it again.
A shadow washes across the table, clearing and replating. The feast is once again laid before you.
The table is filled again. We eat again. We're still happy eating it, but we're left hungry.
You're still hungry too, right? I know this wasn't as good as it was last time, but we just have to do it again. That's all. It'll be perfect if we just do it again.
We eat again, but the food is just fine this time. Our voices note the taste is getting worse and we're still hungry. The princess acting uneasy now.
No, something was wrong that time. But maybe I was just tasting it wrong. It looks just as good as it did the first time. It shouldn't taste like this.
Again, the shadow replaces your feast. And again you eat.
Eating this time is unbearable. Even our narrator starts to get ragged down. The princess notes how tired she is of this, and a torch goes out. The princess appears worried, staring up at the shadow. We try to console her, and she beats herself down.
But it was wrong. I took away a piece of our light. I'm not supposed to do that. I don't want him to be upset with me. He's the voice that whispers sweet nothings in my ear. I think he made this place for us.
We try to talk to the shadow.
The torches flare and the shadow grows for a moment, but you don't receive a response. Giving us the cold shoulder, I say, asserting his dominance in the power structure.
He says his words are just for me, but he wants me to ask, isn't this enough? Isn't this what you wanted him to do? He says he's tired, and I don't think he'll answer anything else you have to say.
The voice of the smitten now resides with the princess. Our voices don't realize it's the smitten, but we, the player, do. However, we continue on, hoping something can change. We play a game. We start over. We play it again. We win. We play it again. She wins.
This isn't fun anymore, is it?
You don't need me to tell you that it isn't. Oh. The princess visibly panics as another torch sputters.
Wait. Maybe this is just too easy. Maybe if we added more rules and pieces, it would be fun again.
So you do. And it is fun again. In fact, it's almost as fun as the first time you played, and the sputtering torch roars back to life. But then you get used to the additions, and the feeling starts to fade. A creeping numbness settling in over the board. Winning and losing become nothing but ends, and even the end becomes nothing as you roll over into a new game, the board resetting as many times as you can finish, till finally...
I'm out of ideas. I'm actually out of ideas this time. I don't think I can play anymore.
As the words leave the princess's mouth, another torch goes out. Again, the remaining flames burn brighter, and the shadow dances faster.
I'm happy, I promise. We're both so happy here. You don't have to be upset.
This is awful.
Anytime a torch goes out, the princess objects to her captor, presiding it can still be fun, as she fears making him even more upset. She has only known her life based on what he has told her is best. The smitten has become a manipulative shadow, gaslighting the princess on what is right for her. The smitten never saw the princess as more than a damsel, as someone who only wanted to make us happy, someone who physically kept changing their appearance when she insisted on only making us happy. The smitten has taken full control of her life, and now he abuses it. Our opportunist thinks it's best if we keep the shadow happy, but we, the player, and our character, know we can't. We question the princess if she is actually happy.
The princess starts to hyperventilate, her quick breaths punctuating the uncomfortable silence between you.
Yes! Why wouldn't I be? Let's not talk about it.
We tell her we need the truth.
I don't feel anything.
The third torch sputters out. The princess's shadow dances furiously against the far wall.
There's just one left. What's going to happen when it goes out?
We tell her not to worry about it. We have to let the torch burn out.
We do, don't we? I'm not happy here. I don't think I ever was.
The princess sobs, burying her face in her hands as the final torch blows out.
The music becomes melancholy. The room no longer lit, and the princess holding her face in her hands. We ask her if she's okay.
No, it feels like an important part of me is gone. But I'm still here. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how I'm supposed to pick up the pieces.
The princess, now coming out of an abusive relationship, realizes she doesn't know how to go on, yet she still remains and has to try. She asks us if we still care about her. I want her to know what happened before wasn't love, but what is happening now is real. We both agree we don't know what this is.
Then maybe we need to find out for ourselves. Maybe it's time for us to leave.
As the princess steps towards the stairs, you offer her your hand. The corners of her mouth curl into a demure smile, and she gently takes your hand in hers. She's cold, a little clammy, but her skin against yours is the most real thing you have ever felt.
The narrator even acknowledges that there are worse things than the end of the world, and no longer puts up a fight of us leaving with the princess. We leave, and she appears happy.
The stars are so beautiful. We should dance.
Staring at each other with pure affection and joy, the princess is finally free.
Thank you for taking me here. This is nice, even if it's a little cold outside.
Or, at least this vessel is finally free. She is once again taken by the Handsy Boy. We arrive again at the Lawn Quiet. We approach the Handsy Boy and see our princess, the vessel we delivered. How long will this continue to last? How many princesses must we deliver? How many must we experience and make suffer, Even after understanding how my choices impact our princesses, even after watching different playthroughs of this game, I still found a way to create great harm towards her character. This game is relentless in making sure all of your choices matter, as they are what bounds and shape your story. I mentioned to the hands that we continue to hurt each other and it doesn't feel right, but they take it as a necessary change, something that must occur to bring fresh perspectives. She tells us we delivered her an honest heart that can finally sing for herself. We then remember there are no wrong choices. I wipe the tears from my eyes, and we tell the handsy boy we're ready and we are wiped clean.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
We start at chapter 1 again. Again, we decide to forego the blade to try and not get our princess locked into an abusive relationship with the smitten. We cut the princess's hand off, and we try to leave. Again, the narrator takes over, but we warn her.
Stop that.
As the narrator continues to take over, I scroll down to resist. It's blacked out? We can't choose it?
God damn it! This shit's starting to piss me off!
This is truly cruel. We remember the handsy boy asks for fresh perspectives. Thus, we are forced to choose differently. We can't reach the damsel again. We are forced to slay the princess.
Thank you.
There's no getting through to you right now, is there? A betrayal of will is still a betrayal. You'll regret thinking of me as a helpless damsel.
The princess, now angry, her form appears more animal-like as she attacks, her nails sharpened. Again, the game is all about belief, and as we lie on the floor bleeding out, we wonder what form she'll take next. Well, this sounds fun. We have the opportunist back with us to once again help us side with what situation he thinks is best in the moment. We head to the cabin, which now appears more wooden and nature-like. We forego the blade, enter the basement, and hear the witch.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Okay, she sounds kind of hot again.
But you are. You're a wretched little thing.
We go down to see her, and oh no, I'm attracted to a cat lady.
Seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
Although we were forced to choose this option, it still remains true. We tricked the princess in believing we would help her, and instead we attacked her, scorning her trust and turning her into this conniving witch. My hopes here are to try and win back her trust, but I'm not sure if it will work out.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
We're outlined with choices which show our character outright tries to trust her again, but it's hard to do that when she shows us she's already free of her shackles. I realize the voices don't trust her through our dialogue options, which in turn makes her untrustworthy. I try in hopes to quell their fears, but it doesn't seem to work. The opportunist simply doesn't trust her. I decide we can leave together.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face.
Okay, but still, like, why does she have to look like this? Why does she look like this? Why? I try to get her to go first, but she reasonably doesn't trust us. We decide, instead, that we will go first, as I truly don't believe we'll convince her otherwise.
Don't worry, I'll be right behind you watching every single thing you do.
Well... shit.
The princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and, in no time at all, the upstairs of the cabin is within reach. Isn't that a relief? We're fine. Nothing happened. You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you? Why did you just say that? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp and piercing. The princess clawing at you and pulling you down with her full weight. Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement floor. You feel something pop.
The princess attacked us, and we both fell to the basement floor, breaking our back in the process. Ultimately, the princess responds that she could never trust us after what we had done, but I believe it truly to be because of the opportunist plotting to betray her again when we arrived up the stairs. We showed her betrayal, and she gave it back to us. We couldn't trust her, and so she couldn't trust us. Had we convinced the opportunist to trust the princess, perhaps things would have been different. The princess's back is also broken. We are both stuck down here. Forever.
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones clean.
Is that really what's going to happen? Hello? Are you still there? What happens next? I think he's gone.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold.
The scene unwinds, and the princess is once again taken by the Handsy boy. The mirror appears again. We have unraveled. The Lawn Quiet arrives, and so does Handsy boy. It's relieving to see Handsy boy as we dwell on philosophies of our existence. She determines we delivered her a righteous heart. We finally get a clear answer on how many more vessels she needs. Only one. Just one more princess to bring her, and then we can figure out all of this. For the last time, we tell her we're ready, and we are wiped clean.
I will be here, waiting for you.
Looking for one more fresh perspective, we arrive at our final chapter 1, and wonder what happens if we take the blade, but free the princess. We enter the cabin, decide to grab the blade, and enter the basement. Like all other times we grab the blade, the music retains its eerie nature. The princess's tone of voice is more sharpened, understandably so, as we are treating her like a hostile person.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
The princess asks us to drop the blade, and we do. We talk. Unlike the softer damsel version of the princess, this princess is more calculating. She understands and is fine with losing an arm if needed, so we do just that.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
We cut her out of her shackles. She gives us the same look as the prior 2 princesses when we cut her out, and continues to keep her composure. The narrator again tries the same trick and takes over, but this time we don't stab her in the back. We resist. The princess responds differently as we resist.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
This is the end, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Well, At least she knew how to kill a guy. This is much better than being stabbed countless times.
I'm sorry.
Although we grabbed the blade, we did still trust this princess and saw her as someone who just wanted to be free. Thus we receive. New princess, new voice, the skeptic, mainly because we questioned how bad the princess really could be, and the fact that the narrator is the one who caused us to be killed. The skeptic understands to not take anything at face value. The narrator told us the princess was a world ender, but all we saw her as was a prisoner held beyond her will. We enter the cabin, now looking more like a dungeon, and take the blade. We enter the basement and see her, but this time shackled thrice, once on each of her wrists and one around her neck. The princess speaks.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
We sit down, but she cautiously tells us to stop a good distance from her. We talk, and she deems she would need surgical removal from the shackles. Our skeptic wonders if she thinks she can survive a beheading. We, as the player, know, if we believe it, then maybe it can work. We ask her what happened after we died, and she gives us a very interesting answer.
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, I'll fill you in. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
It seems this princess didn't want to let someone know we've been here before. Presumably, she didn't want whoever tried to hurt her to know, which is the narrator. This princess is smart, so we listen to her. We slide the blade over to her and... well, there's really no easy way to put this. She starts to cut off her own head.
No.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck.
I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that? Huh. So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet.
Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet.
The skeptic asks if she is really dead, and that's all I need to believe that she isn't. We decide to grab the head as we leave. The voices continue to deliberate if she is dead or not as we leave the cabin.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already... over? Is he gone?
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Our handsy boy comes back once again and takes the princess away. Our final vessel. The mirror appears again. We approach. We are nothing at all. but something does appear. We ask it if it's us.
I think you know what I am.
We finally are face to face with the narrator. Every question we ask the narrator, a piece of glass shatters. Once we have asked the same number of questions as glass shards on the screen, the narrator will disappear. With our second princess, the Spectre, she noted there were shards of broken glass inside us, which our voices confirmed represented them. Before we even reached this part of the game, we could learn clues and hints about what was going on before we actually heard the answers. The narrator even let information slip previously anytime you'd get to a second or third chapter, as the narrator would realize this wasn't your first time at the cabin, and you've done this before. This would force the narrator to open up, albeit only with a fragment of information.
Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
There are more questions than glass shards, so you can't ask them all, which in turn, of course, promotes more playthroughs. Important ones to note are asking what we are, where we are, who the princess is, why we are here, and who the narrator is. We learn we are an emerging god, the Lawn Quiet, which has been placed in a construct created by the narrator, who refers to himself as an echo, something the tower called out previously. Someone who no longer exists, but appears as a guide to ensure the creator of the construct's mission is successful. The mission, to stop change and death from existing, which is represented by the princess or her true form, the Shifting Mound. When we've died, we get pushed into a new world along with the Shifting Mound to hold us until we are ready to be born again, and bring a world where change doesn't exist. Death doesn't exist. By continuously slaying the princess, we would have ended death itself. With this newfound knowledge, we can decide to let our narrator know they failed or they'll succeed, but no matter what, it is the end for them. It always has been. The Lawn Quiet and the Shifting Mound are one and the same entity, just split into two. This is why anything we believed about the princess then became, and the Handsy Boy, or Shifty, continued to ask for more perspectives, more vessels, so she could experience change itself. Our thoughts and beliefs literally shaped and changed her, as she is transformation. The princess wants to get outside of the cabin because the outside is your character, the Lawn Quiet. It's why she disappears as soon as she is brought outside, as she folds back into herself. The princess and your character are part of the same whole entity, which causes her to yearn to be brought back to you, to be perceived. This is why this game is actually... When the Echo's final glass shard shatters, we understand all of this is us, the Lawn Quiet, and we need to awaken. We arrive where the Handsy Boy has been, but nothing is there until a rumbling occurs.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
When we are given a choice to speak, I immediately choose the option of telling her I missed her. Not because I as a person does, but because of the torment and suffering these two characters went through. They were forced to be apart, yet found their way when everything was literally against them. They were tricked into lying, killing, manipulating one another, and sometimes even despising one another. Yet they still remain. I cry. I've cried at least 3 times both playing this game and writing. I think its story is boundlessly breathtaking. Yet we still have some more to do. We talk with the Handsy Boy, which we will just call Shifty from now on. You and Shifty discuss what to do now with our freedom, and she likens it's up to me to choose. Either destroy her and bring a world without death, or join her and finally be free. But can't there be more? For a game about no wrong choices, let's see how far we can push the boundaries. We ask one more time why, if this was always the end, did it matter which vessels we brought her?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you found me, and we chose to trust each other for no reason than the sake of believing in something that wasn't us. Shared skepticism blossomed into freedom, but we needed to walk a path together to bloom. Would you stop our journey now that you've seen its beginning? What of those in the worlds beyond? Would you erase their paths to stop them from going astray?
The music now culminating to its final crescendo. This is our boss fight. How can we tell transformation itself we don't wish to become as gods, while acknowledging it's what brought us together? Shifty continues to show us the perspective of each vessel we sent her. The witch, the damsel, the specter, and the tower. Each time allowing us to either object, decide to join her, or continue to push to find another way. Thus, each time we decide to address the perspective directly.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
We question her what happens if we leave together.
This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
Finally, an option appears for us to try something else. And as Shifty responds, we hear a familiar voice.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
The hero realizes she has transformed too much, houses too many perspectives. We'll never have her see things our way if we continue to discuss with her while she is a god.
There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? Then let's go.
The music stops, and we see rough images of the cabin being drawn up. The cabin then appears, and we are now inside it. The outside of the window shows Shifty, crammed up around the cabin. We are truly at the center of her. The hero thinks we might need the blade, but I decide to go without it. There's no music to give us any tonal clues on what's going on, so let's see what our fate has in store. The hero and you reminisce about the first time we were here, and the first time we heard the princess. She speaks.
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are. Hands empty. So you don't feel like recreating our first meeting detail for detail. I wonder what else will be different. Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say? Right back at you. In a way, it hasn't been much time at all, but it feels like it's been forever since I've seen you. Thanks for coming back.
It's nice to sit. We apologize for all the times we hurt her.
The first time we met, I literally beat you to death with my bare hands. You don't have to apologize to me. But still, I appreciate it. And I hope you can also forgive me.
You know, when she puts it like that...
We ask her which princess she is.
I'm the same princess that's been with you since the beginning. And I feel real. But I also feel like I'm a lot more than I was then. We've been through a lot together. I don't think there's anything more real than that.
We share that we don't want to be a god.
Doesn't matter what we call ourselves. It's just another label, and I don't think labels have ever helped us. All they do is cram us into boxes where we don't fit. Just like this cabin.
We ask if this princess is the same as Shifty outside.
I don't know. I'm a part of her, I think. But she's seen so much more than we have. Like she's seen everything, right? I don't think I could hold all of that without losing myself. I don't think you could either.
We ask her to finally reveal her name.
I never had one. And do not call me the Shifting Mound. It's too much. But I've always been a princess to you, right? So why don't we stick with that? And as for you, well, Hero works for me.
But that's me. You know, I think I like that.
We reconcile on how this experiment was never fair to us, and the princess, although agrees, believes it was worth it to get to know us. She understands there's no way to reason with an ever-changing being like Shifty, and that it's something she never really wanted to be. She just wanted to be herself.
I'm glad you didn't bring that knife with you.
This was the final choice that truly mattered, which allows us to get what I believe is the most satisfying ending to this love story. Had we brought the knife down, the princess would have still talked to us, but only came up with one of two solutions. We kill the princess like the narrator wanted, or the princess kills us, resetting us back to the very beginning of the game with our memories completely wiped, restarting all the torment both were put through and that both put each other through, in hopes to get back to this moment, to make a different choice. We ask if we can just leave, and the princess hesitates. The outside is made of us. What would it mean to even leave? We take her hand in ours. The music finally comes back. Its soft and gentle tone. This is where our love story has led us. We reassure the princess that it doesn't matter what is out there. What matters is that we get to leave together. It's what I want. It's what our character wants. The princess, blushing, states she wants that too. And not in the way the damsel wanted us just to be happy. You can tell she really means it.
You know what? Yeah, I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
We head up the stairs, leaving the basement for the final time. The game notes how quiet it is where it once was filled with violence and noise. You note that it truly is just the two of you. Shifty is nowhere to be seen behind the windows. The princess starts to tremble as she knows of the uncertainty of it all. She whisks us towards the door.
This is it. I have no idea what it's going to be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you. I love you too. But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.
The credits roll. The game ends. Achievement unlocked. Whatever it is happens, our character and the princess will face together. A perfect and fitting end to any love story told. I highly recommend, even after watching this, for anyone to go through this game and play it for the first time. Everyone's experience is different, as noted by the Our Song track record that is put together based on which princesses you delivered to Shifty. There are over 20 different princesses you can find, which means there's a multitude of different perspectives that can be encountered during your own playthrough, which I have never seen. The distress, horror, heartbreak, and love I felt will be completely different for anyone else's first playthrough. This might be the pinnacle of what a true choice-based game is, and it's why I love this horror game so much. It's why I love this love story so much. As Shifty put it, it's the dance that matters most for this game. Thanks for watching.